on another drive to work, so another drive along. I hope you don't get sick of drive alongs. I like them because then I can just tell you how I'm feeling about things and tell you the stories of all the things that were going on. Sometimes current, sometimes not. So I have a story about something that happened a while ago that's really funny. And I've shared it with some of my friends, and they thought it was hilarious. I mean, someday I should write these things down. I want to do a open mic night at some point, because so many funny things happen. If you are transitioning and don't have a sense of humor, get one, because it's funny. Funny things happen, you know, and humor is how we get by some days. I know I do. I'm just goofy. So here's a funny one. You know, I used to weigh 350 pounds. It was really big. And my tummy was big. And so, you know, it would kind of hang down and stuff and fold over. And sometimes you get like this red, angry spot because it never sees the light of day. And as I've lost an awful lot of weight, you know, I weighed in at 171 just the other day. And I've lost another 9 pounds in the last month or so. Because I'm just eating my salad and not typically very hungry these days. I drink a lot of coffee. So I still have a lot of like skin, kind of pooch, which is precisely female, so it's actually helping me out a little bit. The little pooch still kind of has a little flap there, which is really annoying. And I don't know. I mean, my doctor would probably let me have a tummy tuck if I wanted to. But back to the funniness. So it was the summer, and I was working a lot in the warehouse, and it's really hot, and sweaty constantly, and going home. And I would take a shower and stuff, but it's starting to get really agitated on one side, and it got really red and really angry. And it's yeast. It's a form of yeast, which is fungal. And so you can put like Lotrimin or something on it, and that'll help. But if you really want to knock it out of the ballpark, you put monistat 7 on it. And so that was always my go-to when it was, you know, irritating me really badly. And so I needed to go to the store and get monistat 7. So I went to the store, and there was a few things I needed. I wanted some bananas and some lemons. I like to put really, really thin slices of lemons on a smoked salmon and stuff with a smoked salmon salad that I like to do. So I had a few lemons, you know, I think maybe 2 or 3 small Myers, and some bananas, and I like them a little green, you know, but the green ones they had were too green, and there was just one. They were enormous bananas. They were just enormous, but they were just the right level of green and just a little green. So I grabbed those, and then I headed over to find the monistat 7, and I promptly couldn't find it throughout the entire store. I'm looking everywhere and just can't find the thing. So I went and asked somebody. They said, oh, it's in a cabinet. I'm like, oh, okay. So they came over and helped me. Went to the cabinet. This cabinet's locked up, and she's got this key ring, this enormous key ring. It must have 1 million keys on it. And she's standing there flipping through them one at a time. I swear it was like an episode of Scooby-Doo where the night watchman is trying to find the key for the door. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? So finally she's trying all these keys, and I'm standing there forever. And somebody had come up and tapped me on the shoulder. And I looked real fast, and my brain immediately said, oh, a fellow lesbian. And I just looked over and I said, oh, hey, what's up, you know? And this smiling person, who I'm assuming was a lesbian, we were both wearing flannel, you know, and our jeans and our t-shirts. She was a little more punk rock, you know, and my age, and she's kind of standing there, and we're both just short of a couple of softball mitts hanging off our back pocket, you know. I mean, we couldn't advertise lesbian any louder, I don't think. But so she says, hey, what size are you getting? What size am I getting? And I looked back at the cabinet, and I realized this whole cabinet had the monistat 7 in the bottom and every rubber known to man in the rest of the cabinet. And I thought about this for just a microsecond. I'm standing here holding these bananas in my hand like this, and a couple of lemons in a little tiny bag, little mesh bag hanging down below. And I realized it must have looked kind of interesting with these great big monstrous bananas, and I'm trying to get something out of the great big rubber cabinet. What size am I getting? Oh my goodness. I just said, oh, now I'm getting monistat 7. And she looked at me with a furrowed brow and went, ew, and then turned around and walked away. And I knew exactly what had happened in that moment, in that very microsecond of that happening. What I said is I turned to her and said, oh, I'm sorry, I have a yeast infection. You want to turn off a lesbian? Tell him you got a yeast infection. And she's probably thinking as she walks away, well, maybe you wouldn't have a yeast infection if you weren't playing with those great big bananas all the time. So, oh my gosh, that happened. How embarrassing. I was so mortified. I couldn't believe it. I just, of all the things I could have said and done, and good job, Jackie. Jeez. So, yeah, I scared off the lesbian. Oh well. So, that was kind of funny. So nobody used that. That's mine. That goes in my stand-up. That's my story. Copyright. So, yeah, what can you do? Yeah, it was a funny one. Thought I would share it. That's all I really had to say. It was just kind of something funny. Tomorrow I'm going to work on electrolysis. Try to, do something interesting with that and share a video of what that actually looks like when it's happening. Maybe if we're really lucky, we get to have a small little interview in her front office with my electrologist, because that would be great. She's super knowledgeable. That would be super awesome. So now's the part, because I don't like doing it in the beginning and I often forget, where I have to tell you to click that like button. The thumbs up, do the little thumbs up deal. And, subscribe. Please subscribe. It puts more of these videos up the search thing better, and people who need the support are going to get it. Remember, if you do need support, if this is what you're here for and you just had a nice chuckle, that's great. I'm glad that was supporting you in a chuckle. But what everyone needs to remember is there are good resources like transgenderpulse.com, and they have resource pages for all the things you could think of, especially a therapist. One of the most important things you can get and give to yourself as a gift is a gender therapist who can understand and help. And if you're having suicidal thoughts or thoughts of self-harm, they have suicide hotlines. You can tell them anything you need to tell them. That's what they are there for. And of course, there are lots of people, if you want to talk to people who understand and get it and are accepting, that's the place to discuss it. If you feel like you need to sign up and introduce yourself in the forum, there's a place specifically for that. And people will be more than happy to greet you and listen to you and just be there for you and support you. That's exactly what that is there for. So don't forget, thumbs up, like me. I want you to like me so bad. And, subscribe. And if you subscribe, do the little alerts deal over here, I think, over there. The little alerts deal so you see when the videos come in. Take care of yourself. It's Friday. The weekend is here. So enjoy your weekend. And I will show you my great big swollen face tomorrow, because it's going to be really swollen. But that's what happens when you get beat up for 4 hours straight. I just wish he'd beat me up faster. But take care of yourself. Know that I care, and then I'm here going through the same struggles, and you are not alone. Take care of yourself.